I was like just about to record this, and then thunder came and the hail started falling. So I am now recording it a little bit soaking wet and hail damaged, but my plants should be okay. So let's jump on into it. We are into winter now, and this is probably like the quietest time of the game normally, just because you can't farm. I guess just because you can't farm. But we have a couple things going on. We have way too much coffee in here, which will go away as soon as we get more ancient fruit. And those strawberries will go away too, because they aren't really going to be necessary. And I don't know what we're going to do next. We need to get the magnifying glass to hopefully get the secret notes. We'll be doing the gifting, but like I said, I'm going to mostly leave that out. Unless it's kind of part of something else I'm doing. Gifting is going to be pretty much omitted from every day we play. And yeah, so our plan is to get to Ginger Island as soon as we can. I'm impatiently waiting for ancient fruit seeds. But we are waiting for both a nautilus shell and a duck, I think, are the two main things. I don't know if we have too much else we're missing. We might be missing the cooked goods, but those are pretty easy to do. But yeah, anyway, so we got the magnifying glass back. Or not back, but we got it. And so we'll head back to the farm in a little bit to break open all the pumpkins to hopefully get a secret note from each one. And that way it'll just speed up our process of getting those secret notes. And I guess I left a little bit of gifting in, but some of it is necessary. Krobus will obviously get a gift today because it's his birthday, but we can easily hit him up when we go down to reset our farming skill tree, basically. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to sell all the wine. And we can't do that until we have artisan. And that will give us a lot more money for the wine than we're getting now. Oh, and we're finally getting the tea sapling cutscene too. That took a lot longer than normal. And we have a new quest this week. I chose wrong. I chose rock rejuvenation, which was a mistake. It's not a necessary quest to do. Whereas community cleanup, oh, it's thundering again, good. Whereas community cleanup is. So I should have picked the other one, but it's not the biggest deal. And yeah, give Willie a gift. Head to the sewers. Use the weird little dog statue. I don't know what's up with that. But it's like a magical, mystical dog that respects our farming. So we'll do that. We forgot to bring a gift for Krobus. So I just bought a void egg, which is super expensive, but it's a loved gift for him. So I might as well give it to him. And apparently I lied, and we just left gifting in. Maybe today is the last day of it. But I know there's a lot less going forward. There's where our friendship is at, I guess, if you wanted a quick glimpse of it. It's not great with anybody, but it's, I guess, good enough. And I think we're going to build another shed today, or at least upgrade our existing shed, one of the two. And then that way we can get all of our furnaces into a shed, and we'll move our greenhouse closer to our actual farmhouse and kind of make things look a little nicer, at least in my opinion. And we also forgot wood, so we have to buy that too. A lot of weird forgetfulness in this app. And I am so over this hail. It's not I'm not completely soaked, but I ran out there in shorts and little slip-on shoes and a raincoat, And so when I got out there, all the dirt and stuff like splashes up onto your legs. And so I'm like looking down and my legs are just like covered in dirt, which is not, it is not what I want right now. But it's still thundering like crazy, so I don't know. I guess at least we're getting water out there. I just hope it doesn't hail again. Oh, this is like, it's not that long of a cutscene, but it always feels super long because you can't skip it. And there's so many skippable cutscenes, but for some reason you can't skip the one where you tell her yes or no you've made something out of wood before. I don't think I've watched a Stardew cutscene in years, except for the one where Haley and Emily are fighting over chores. That's the only one. Oh well. So a lot of the time in winter, I will like fill the entire field with winter forage, but I'm not going to do that this time just because it doesn't really make you a ton of money, and it really is a lot of work, and so I'm just not going to do it. There's no way. I'd rather just let my grounds be untilled, and on the 1st of spring we'll just have to deal with it. We'll maybe do a small patch, like maybe the far right side, but I won't go any further past that. I'm not desperate enough to get our forage completely maxed out. Like I'm focusing more on making sure like we get more kegs and more jars and Ginger Island. So who knows? Maybe that'll change. I don't think it will though. I'm actually kind of surprised I played through a whole day of winter. Like that was nearly a whole day. I thought for sure I would have gone to bed by noon. And that may be the case for these next couple days. Just like a couple errands and then... Oh yeah, anyway, we're going to go with artisan now, like I mentioned. Because that gives you 40% extra money for wine in particular. So today we'll sell all our wine. And we'll just have money going forward. And we won't have to worry about it again. And we get our sweet gem berries, which we'll also sell those except for one. And the one we'll give to Chief whatever. What's it? Master Cannoli. Mr. Cannoli, or is he Master? Does this say? Let's find out. I think it's Master. Because that makes more sense than Mr. I probably it doesn't say though. It doesn't even say his name. So, well, what are you going to do? We did that. That's 1 star drop done. And then we ran to the community center as well to drop off some of the last few things. Even though we're not quite done. We have the cooked goods. We have the nautilus shell. We have the apples. And so I think the only thing we need, let's find out here. Oh, it's the duck feather. I think it's the duck feather. That's super... Yeah, so that's really annoying. So the only thing holding us back from going to Ginger Island is not buying enough ducks. And there's just nothing we can do about that right now. I could, I guess, try and go back and find a backup save file. But it's not worth it. We're just going to get to Ginger Island a little bit late. But we made 1.2 mil, which isn't so bad. It could definitely be a lot more and a lot better, but it's something. And then we have a huge coffee harvest today. I think we'll have maybe one more, maybe, before we destroy the whole crop and plant the ancient seeds. it's kind of a satisfying crop to harvest just because you get so many beans from it. Which I don't know how many beans you get in a real coffee plant. That's not something I've ever tried to grow because I don't have the environment for it. Like, it's very dry here despite like all the thunderstorms we've been having. And so like, yeah, I just don't know how possible it would be. I've also noticed like when you're putting the coffee beans in the kegs, it behaves a lot worse than trying to put starfruit in the kegs. Like, it isn't as smooth. You can't just hold up and run past. You have to like individually look up at the keg. I don't know what that is about. But yeah, we processed a ton of coffee and then we filled the kegs after that with our starfruit. So our shed is all starfruit wine again, and we've processed just about all of our coffee. That was kind of like an annoying errand that we had to do eventually. And then we'll cook all that coffee into espresso. And so I don't know, like, this was a weird move. Like, this was like probably me being annoyed. So I was like, okay, I'll just get a ton of ducks just in case. But it's like, it's way too late to be doing this. We should have done this a week ago. So now we're just going to have a lot of ducks, which I'm never upset about. But it is not going to solve our problem any faster. Like, I'm hoping next week we finally get our duck feather. But I don't know if it'll be that soon. And I guess we're also processing... Oh, did we already process all of our starfruit? We couldn't have. Maybe it's just all of the other... We have like kegs in 2 distinct locations. So all of our starfruit might be over there. And so I don't know, maybe the mindset was like, the quarry is our pumpkin station and the farm will be our starfruit station, which is fine, it works out. And then we're gonna head down to Robin's again for more resources as usual. We'll get a bunch of wood, we'll get a bunch of stone. And since she's finished with our normal shed, we'll upgrade the shed. And we'll move things around a little bit. We're gonna move like those buildings in the like more southern part of our farm, just to be stacked a little cleaner. And then that way, I don't know, it'll eventually look nicer. Right now it's gonna look kind of janky, I guess you could say. It's gonna be a little bit off or a little bit like ugly, but it will look nicer once we have our furnaces ripped out and our greenhouse moved, and our pathing repathed and all that. It just kind of takes a lot. It takes a lot of like, well, it's not a lot of planning necessarily, but it takes a lot of like fidgeting with things to make them look the way you envision or want them to look. I'm going obviously for more of like a practical setup. I'm not looking to make things like beautiful by any means. And even like I don't need to move those are fine there. And we don't even really need to upgrade our shed because we don't have that many furnaces and we're never going to have that many furnaces. It's not necessary. So maybe we'll dual purpose the shed and make it like half kegs, half crystallariums or something. That might make more sense than just... Or not kegs, sorry. I keep saying kegs. I meant furnaces. But yeah, anyway, we made a bunch more of these things, which are called jars. And we're just going to fill this whole area, like I said, with jars and kegs. So, just more of that. The thunder has faded. So I think we are out of the woods for at least a little bit of hail. It kind of feels like there's 2 storms. Like it feels like, yeah, that's a bummer. There's a storm like we just got hit by one and it's moving past. And the next one is like about to hit us, so that's okay. At least I didn't uncover the plants. I'll just let them hang out in their little shelters overnight. And I think this is like the last storm of the week before, I don't know, usually what follows is like super, super hot weather. We got another 400k. That's okay, I guess, for one. So we're sitting on like, 1.6 mil. And the only things we had to buy today are a little bit of deluxe speed grow and starfruit seeds. We might as well just buy a full stack of both. In fact, that's what we might do, because we really don't need, we don't need to have to rebuy. That sentence came out really weird. We don't need, I don't even know how to phrase it. We don't want to have to keep rebuying little bits of it here and there. So we might as well just buy a ton of it. We'll need a ton of it for the first of spring anyway. And it's not like things don't go bad. So there's no reason not to. So that's what we'll do after this is all set up, obviously. This setup is not ideal. I usually do vertical for the quarry. I feel like it works a little better for how I play. But for whatever reason I did horizontally. And that's probably how it's going to stay. It would be kind of a pain to fix at this point. And yeah, so we're buying all our junk. I think we already bought all the beet seeds we need, because we need beet seeds for the casino unlock. And I think we bought rhubarb already, which we need for shipping. So we're pretty much done with buying stuff from Sandy, if I'm not mistaken. It's very likely I am mistaken, but I don't know, I might not be. And I guess I gave Willie a gift. Oh, I see now. I left it in there because we need to start getting the crab pot fish too. And so I bought 4 crab pots. We'll set them up here. They'll be good for gifts for Vincent, as well as finishing out the cooking stuff and the fishing stuff. So we'll get snails and periwinkles out of there. I think Vincent likes or loves snails, so we should be good there. But that's it for the first little section of winter here. We have things to do, that's for sure, but we're just going to take it kind of one day, 1 week at a time and get it all wrapped up. I don't know if we made much money tonight. No, not really. Pickles aren't really worth it that much, but it's better than nothing. So I will see you all next time. Thursday will be once again the Perfection series, our 3rd week. And I'll see you then.